right. And we are live. Very good. Well, I want to welcome you to the Mastermind Q&A. Just going to briefly go over what a mastermind is, and then we're going to kind of do a practice session, I think, with Stina, and we'll see how this works. So a mastermind is a group that comes together to brainstorm and to hold each other accountable. There's usually from 3 to maybe 10 or 12 people in a group. You really can't have a mastermind with really more than like 10 or 12. But a good sized group is like 6 to 8. And what you do, there's 3 or 4 different, what I want to say, structures for a mastermind. Typically, I mean, the most common structure is what's called the hot seat. It's at every session whenever the group meets, and masterminds meet either weekly, they could meet every other week, they could meet once a month. Some masterminds, the more expensive ones, will meet every quarter, you know, if they're really high-powered executive kinds of things. But they meet on a regular basis, and the whole idea is that you really get to know each other's businesses, and you really gel as a group so that you all can kind of help each other. And so the hot seat is you will, at each mastermind, 1 or maybe 2 people, depending on the length of time, just gets to present what is their real dire business problem for today. What is it that you want everyone to help you solve? And you just basically state, this is my business, I'm having trouble with blah, 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 this is my goal, I can't seem to, you know, whatever the issue is. And then we just kind of go around the room, everyone who's participating, and we just start kind of throwing out ideas on how maybe you could solve that problem. You know, either bring in examples that you've seen from your own business, or you may know of, you know, someone else who has done something, or you just have some ideas. But then everyone gets to kind of chime in on some ideas, and then you just kind of go back and forth and try to figure out what are some of the best steps. And when you get a group of people all thinking about the same problem, you'll end up with quite a few possible solutions. So that's the most common structure, is the hot seat. The other structure, the very common one, is just called the round robin, where everyone comes in and you kind of go around the room and everyone kind of states what is their issue that's going on in their business that day or that week. And then as a group, they kind of say, well, that sounds like the most critical issue, so let's solve that one first. Or someone may say, hey, I've got the perfect solution for this one over here, let's get that one done very quickly, and boom. So the round robin is kind of everyone gets to contribute a little bit, a problem every time. Then there are masterminds that are really more teaching models, where they will start off with every mastermind is on a certain topic. Like, you know, on this meeting we're going to talk about Facebook, and everyone brings their questions and their comments and their issues with Facebook, and everyone just discusses Facebook. And then the next meeting is all about Twitter, and everyone brings their questions and their comments and whatever about Twitter. Those are more subject matter masterminds. Those are not as common. The hot seat is really the most common version. And then there's variations on a theme. I mean, every mastermind kind of has their own flavor, and everyone kind of, you know, they will gel and do different things. There are some masterminds that come together strictly to create joint ventures. They put everyone in the room, and they all work on like a joint project, so that they all, you know, everyone in the room says, you know what, why don't we all put together a women's conference? And so everyone in the mastermind is all doing their part to bring forth this women's conference. That's what the Benjamin Franklin, he was in one long time ago in 1776 or whatever. And their group was called the Junto, the Junto. And out of that group, that mastermind group, they came up with the idea of the circulated library. And they were also the founders of the University of Pennsylvania, came from that mastermind group. So, yeah, they're very, very powerful. There's Tasha again. Are you with us? I don't know. She's popping in and out, but we'll see. So what typically happens is, like the very first meeting of a mastermind, everyone will go around and introduce themselves and tell everyone about their business. And usually you start with like 3 goals. What are your most important 3 goals in your business? And then everyone kind of holds you accountable. Every time the group meets, you're expected to report on your progress on your goals. And then if you reach a goal, then you need to set a new one and let the whole group know. But it is all about like accountability. If you say you're going to be doing these steps, every time you come back to the mastermind group, you report on what are those steps. What have you been doing? So it's actually a pretty powerful thing. Once people really, I'm in one currently, and a couple weeks ago I put out a list. I said, you guys, these are the ideas we have generated from this mastermind, and it was like 4 pages of ideas of things that I could do in my business. And I only talked about the ones that affected my business. I didn't even talk about what the other people, what ideas we came up for everyone else. I was just talking about what came out from my business. And just very quickly, I'll just give you a little background. I have a coaching business personally, which is Success Point Consulting, that I've been doing for 6 years. But recently I started this nonprofit called Morelli Entrepreneur Training for Women. And so we are bringing together women who want to connect, learn, grow, and prosper together. And it is a membership. It's an organization. And we are doing trainings like this. We are doing masterminds. We're doing networking events. Just a little bit of everything. We want to make sure that no one is in business by themselves. So that's just a little plug for Morelli. So that's what I'm doing here today. But so let's go ahead and Stina, why don't you tell me a little bit about your business and kind of tell me what are your 3 goals that you've been working on?
Okay. So the business that I've started, it's called Provocative Mama, and I am working with mothers to help them break out of the cage that they feel like they're in motherhood, if they're feeling that kind of stifled or limited feeling. So I'm helping them break through that and really reclaim like who they are outside of motherhood, just as a woman, as a person, and to figure out what they really want their life to look like, and take those practical steps, but also have that deeper understanding of that to really make a life that they want and stop living for everybody else. Stop living for the people that they think are judging them or the people they think are watching. So yeah, that's a little bit about my work. So
okay. How long have you been in business?
I've been working on this for really only a few months, so I'm new.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. So give me an example of a business problem that you're running into right now.
I think right now probably my biggest thing, like I guess a few things come to mind, but like defining my service packages, or like kind of what that looks like, my offer, and really like building I guess an audience for. I like sporadically write a blog, so it's not necessarily just for the blog, but just building that tribe of people who my message resonates with and who really are on board with the journey that I want to take them on. So those are the 2 things that come to mind.
Okay, so offers and building audience.
Yeah.
Okay, and so that's like perfect. And then if there were more people, we would like be asking, okay, next person. What do you think about that? When she says, problem with her offers, what are some suggestions? And then they would start asking you questions. So I'll just go ahead and just say, okay, like, what are you thinking about your packages? Are you trying to work with women one-on-one, or are you looking for like group kinds of things, or are you looking for more like products that you're going to provide to them?
Yeah,
What are you
right now
looking
I'm
for?
working one-on-one with women.
Okay.
I'm trying to kind of hone in on one thing and focus on that for now before I get scattered into thinking about all the other wonderful things I want to do.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so you're trying to find women who have kids, right? Because you're going to the trapped in mamahood kind of thing.
Yeah.
So they need to be moms. Do you have a certain age bracket of the mom or the age bracket of the kids?
Not necessarily. I would say that just because my kids are young, I have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. A lot of
Okay.
the moms that I'm connected to have younger kids. So like I don't really know any moms that have like like high school kids. I almost know no moms that have high school kids. So
Okay.
they're more small kids where they're like still dependent on you and demanding a lot more from you. I mean, obviously there's a whole new set of demands with a high schooler, but yeah, so I think the dynamic is a little bit different
Okay.
for
So
those.
you would start off trying to find mothers of young kids,
Hmm.
like infant through, say, age 10, 10 and under, kind of
Sure.
thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, I heard you talk a little bit about what is it that, what is it that you think these women are feeling that you can help them with?
Yeah, I think out of touch with themselves, frustrated, exhausted, just burnout. Um, and I think for me that feels like I start to feel kind of resentful. Like I start to not like my kids. I start to not like my husband. Like you get that kind of like just everything feels like, oh, I just don't like it. And you want to love the time you spend with your kids, and you want to love your family, and you want to feel really good about where you're at. But I've been basically a stay-at-home mom for 4 years, and so I start to go, okay, there's something else that I'm supposed, like there's something else, I need something else. And so just to affirm that feeling that like it's okay that you don't feel satisfied. It's okay that you feel like there's something else you want. And even if that's not a job, but maybe it's just I feel like I want some time to myself, something really
Mm-hmm.
simple. But just affirming like you're a person and you have real needs, and that's okay. You don't have to be a superhuman mom. The frustration's normal. The feeling trapped is normal.
Right.
So,
Now, do you have any, what do I want to say, a niche? Like, are you looking for single? Does it matter to you if they're single moms or they're out of the workforce moms that they were on a career path, but now they are at home, or women who got pregnant kind of right out of high school and this is all they know, they never really had a work or career.
mhm.
Does that matter at all to you and who you're targeting?
No, it doesn't.
Okay. Okay. Well, so what do you think your offer should be?
Well, I think that I'm having a hard time. Like, I don't see a lot of motherhood like life coaches, and I see a lot of life coaches or business coaches, and I know what their packages are. So I know that
Right.
they offer a 6-week package or a 90-day package, with different
Yeah.
modules and a certain number of sessions and that kind of thing. And so that's where my mind goes to automatically, just because that's what I know. But it's a little bit harder to think outside of that and like um, what other options even are.
Right. Because when I think about the audience that you're going for, and this may be a stereotype that you're going to say, no, that's wrong, but can those moms really commit to like a 1 hour or 2 hour every week.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to have one of those, for me, like my coaching packages, I have kind of a set 12-week curriculum, that we modify it based on, but I want to make sure that we cover all 12 topics.
Sure.
And for you, is mom going to be able to commit to that? And do you have kind of a program that you'd want to walk her through?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that it feels like, each mom is going to be so different. Like I want to be able to offer her what she needs. So I don't want to offer a package that just feels like more overwhelm. Like if I want to help moms who are overwhelmed, I don't want to make them feel more overwhelmed with more things to do. But at the same time, I do want to push the boundary a little bit and say you're worth spending time on. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
worth you investing in yourself. So finding the balance between that is a challenge, I think.
Right. I think that's right. Because I don't know that you can really be able to give mom much homework,
Yeah,
right?
right.
I mean, I think a lot of times that you're going to have to really work with her and maybe give her like more, let's say, snippets kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing. I know a woman and she works more in the corporate realm, but she was having I want to say she was having some trouble getting companies to buy like her bigger corporate packages.
Mm-hmm.
And what she ended up doing was breaking it down into like, I think it's either 10 or 15 minute, like just short videos.
Mm-hmm.
And companies like subscribe to the video series. And
Mm-hmm.
so like once a week, she'll send the video to the companies, and then they can, either bring the employees together to watch it, or they can, give it to the certain employees that should watch that topic. And
Mm-hmm.
she's finding a lot more success doing it that way versus trying to get like, bigger meetings. That might be
Mm-hmm.
something that you think about, is create kind of little snippets that you can give them. Still have your one-on-one, but in between, instead of giving them homework, whatever, maybe give them, what, here's 5 minutes for you to, spend for yourself, and give them some daily tips or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be fun. Um, okay, so what else on your offers? I'm just trying to think real quick. It's like, okay, one-on-one. So you're going to do phone calls mostly? Or
Yeah.
Skype, Google
Yeah.
Plus, like this? Okay. Um, about what you think you're going to price this at? Have you worked any kind of pricing model to figure out like how much you should charge, and versus what your value would be?
Um, I try, but it feels a little like I'm just spinning in circles, where I just am like, I don't really even know where to start because because I'm just starting out and I don't have like a lot of testimonials or social proof or, like a large tribe or anything like that. It's like I want to be reasonable about pricing my offering, but at the same time, I don't want it to be, because I know, like, when I look at something and I think it's not priced high enough, you kind of are like, oh, is it legit or is it really valuable? And so kind of finding that happy medium is hard.
Right. And pricing is sometimes kind of well, you do have to experiment a little bit, but you
Mm-hmm.
do need to set what your threshold is. So let me ask you a little bit personal questions here. Do you have a college degree?
No, I'm one class short of an accounting associate's degree.
Okay. But you know what? Okay, so
That's
you're
what I
you
got.
almost got that accounting.
Yeah.
So you look at, okay, if you were in the business as an accountant, right, you wouldn't be working for minimum wage.
Sure.
You probably are working more in the, $18, $20, $25 an hour, as at a starting rate.
Sure.
Okay, so you don't want to undercut yourself when you're now setting your packages. Okay, so now you say, okay, I'm going to spend 4 hours a month. I'm just saying, with this woman. And plus I'm going to have a little bit of preparation time and that kind of thing. So maybe it's going to be 5 or 6 hours a month, right? And times, say, 20, you're at, probably $120 a month is probably your minimum. Okay, and that's not even adding in some of the value. But that's really just kind of that's a very baseline. And then from there you go, well, that is if I was just doing this. But I'm really giving her these tools, and the way I got those tools is because I did my own self-development. I did these courses, I did this, and you kind of add that up and go, you know what, if she wanted to learn these things I'm teaching her on her own, I paid $250 for this, I paid $600 for that, I paid the $3,000 coach, you add all those kinds of things up and go, you know what, if you did it on your own, you'd be paying $3,000. My minimum's $120, but I could be up to the $3,000. And then you just kind of go, okay, where am I in that scale? Knowing that you could always take your prices up. You almost never want to lower your price though. Okay, but you could always go up. You can always do some sort of special deal. You can take bits and pieces away from your package if you want to lower the price, but you never want to lower like your base price. Unless you take away services or take away value.
Yeah.
But you can always add.
Do you think that it would be good to have like several different, three different packages, or stick with one?
Almost always it's better to give them a choice. It's one of those things that, yes, you should give them choices. And what you end up doing is where you think most people are going to be. Like if you give someone 3 choices, most people go for the middle. Okay, so you will have one that's kind of high and you wish they would go for it, but realistically not a lot of people will. And then you've got the one that's in the sweet spot that most people will go for. And then you've got like the low-hanging one that's kind of the no-brainer. But that, again, a lot of people will look at it like you do and go, you know what, there's not a lot of value there. You want to put your value in like that middle one, because that's where most people will go. But if you only offer them one, then it's either a yes or no. Sure. If you give them 3, it's well, not that one, but maybe. Well, not that one, but maybe. So you're giving them more opportunity to say yes. So you should have more than one, and usually, it's 3, but for you it might be 4 or maybe 6, depending on what else you can add. It kind of sounds like, because you're saying things like you want them to get deeper and break through, and because I'm writing down words that you're saying, and it's like, okay, so you've got a very spiritual part to this. You really want them to kind of, what do you say, they feel out of touch or exhausted or burned out. So you really are probably going to add a lot more of the spiritual side into it. Some meditation or some breathing exercises, or this is just how you stretch. Just here's a way to like build up some energy or whatever. So for each one of those could be a little bit more value that you add. All right, so that's your offers. Now let's talk a little bit about your audience and building your tribe. So obviously a lot of moms are busy during the day, but they are on Facebook.
Yeah.
Right? So
Because they're trying to escape.
You've probably found the mom groups, right, all
Yeah.
over Facebook.
Right.
And you're going to find more of your audience in those versus the entrepreneur groups, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of mommy groups out there. But yeah, to build your tribe. Now, where are you as far as like website? Where are you as far as your Facebook page? Do you have kind of those social media pieces up and running?
Yeah, I have my website all, like, it's there. Everything's there.
Okay.
I keep like tweaking, just like the about page and stuff like that. But that was
Obviously,
one
yeah,
of
the
the,
about
I
pages
know,
are always.
that was one of the first things that I set up because it made it feel like I was doing something real. Like if I have a website, it's real.
Woohoo! There
Um,
it is. So
and
are you capturing leads? Do you have an autoresponder? Are you giving anything away free? Are you capturing names and addresses?
yeah, so I
Yeah.
have on Facebook, I have like 106 likes on my Facebook page.
Okay.
But then there's only like 10 people on my list, on my email list. And that's just from, on my website, I do have like an opt-in offer, at the top of the page. And
What are
I,
you? What are they opting in on?
you mean what is the opt-in offer?
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like a little PDF kind of worksheet, cheat sheet that they can, it's called 10 Things You Need More Than Self-Care. So they're kind of
Okay.
working
And
working through that.
is that something you wrote?
Yes.
Okay. Um, okay. Have you tested anything else?
No. Um, I I feel like I don't get a lot of traffic to the site, so
Okay.
it's just hard to test any other options because it feels like, okay, I don't really know if people are even seeing this. And I also, like, one thing that I was interested in trying and was looking at this week was doing like an opt-in offer kind of with each blog post, or
Mm-hmm.
where you have a blog post and then you have like a little printable or a cheat sheet or something like that, where I feel
Yep.
like that could be really helpful for moms because it's like, okay, here's a one-page thing I can jot down some notes on about what are my priorities this week, or what am I going to do for myself, and like that's a tangible thing. So anyways, but in MailChimp there's like virtually no way to set that up as an opt-in on each blog post with a different opt-in offer, with a different, autoresponder kind of thing. So I think
Really?
somebody said I might have to switch to Aweber to do it.
I was going to say I use Aweber. I'm like going, yeah, you can, but I mean I don't use Mailchimp.
Yeah,
But you can certainly do it on Aweber.
yeah,
I mean it takes a little bit of doing, but you
hmm
absolutely can.
yeah,
Um, and it wouldn't be all that hard. But let's back up a little bit about your blog,
sure.
and not getting traffic. So, how are you currently building traffic? How are you getting traffic? That just happens to be one of the things that I'm really passionate about is like blog traffic.
Yeah,
So let me give you some tips maybe on blog traffic.
sure.
So, what are you currently doing?
Um, Everything that I'm doing is really sporadic. Like like I'll
Okay.
write a post and then like not write for 2 weeks and then I'll write two in a row. And so I know that's the part of the problem is that it needs to be like every
Right.
Tuesday there's a post, and so people know. Um, but I think that it's been a little bit like as I've been figuring out like my specific vision for what I want to do and how to communicate that, it's like I've felt a little bit like I don't want to just be like writing stuff and putting it out there. Like I want to make sure that it's strategic enough that it is valuable and that it is interesting and that people actually want to go to the blog and aren't just kind of like, oh, that's nice that you wrote that.
All right. So, do you know about editorial calendars? Right? And you understand
Mhm.
the concept of an editorial calendar? That
Um,
you basically, yes, you strategically plan out your posts, ahead of time, and you do put some thought into them, and you actually do schedule them out on a calendar. And that way you really can, once you have that calendar kind of matrixed out, then you can really see, like, you can kind of start talking, like in your Facebook posts and stuff, about a topic a couple days before you do the post, to kind of generate some interest in what you're doing. And you can start really becoming very strategic about your content. And that would probably really help you, as you need to spend some time and put together that editorial calendar that just says, okay, here are my topics. For me, like my blog, the 4 themes is I talk about marketing, management, mindset, and money. Okay, and so I will do a blog about something that's marketing oriented, and then I'll do a blog that's something management oriented, and then a blog that's mindset oriented, and then a blog that's about money. And then the next one will be about marketing. And, so I just have those 4 themes that I just, kind of go through, so that I'm talking about each theme, but I'm mixing it up. So, so you probably should put together kind of your overall themes and your editorial calendar, and that will help you stay on track, and that will also help you start pre-promoting your content. Okay?
Yeah, I like that idea.
Really helpful. Yeah, so that one's good. Facebook groups are really great for blogging, but don't just put it in your mommy group. There are groups out there on Facebook that say that they're like blogging groups or blogging tribes, or they're just for blog. And basically it is other bloggers that if you put your blog out there, they will promote and share and like your blog. Okay, that is just one way to get more traffic. And again, the more traffic you get, the more Google will see, and then you'll just get better rankings. Now, how familiar are you with keyword research?
I've heard a lot about, like, I've learned a lot just like on Copy Blogger and different podcasts and that kind of thing. But then, like, every time I start to do it, I just feel like I just get totally lost, and it's like it goes on the list of things I just want to hire someone else to do, because it's like,
okay, all right.
It's just like,
and there's plenty of us that would be glad to do that for you. And I do some different trainings on keyword research, and so I can hook you up with a couple of those kind of thing. And but yeah, once you get the keywords, you'll be surprised how much your traffic starts to pick up if you pick the right words. So you definitely want to know a little bit more about that. And then what else? On blogging, just make sure that you're indexing your blog. Make sure that that your pings are set up so that they're going out. Are you on WordPress?
Yes.
Okay, then at least Ping-O-Matic is going out automatically. So there's a lot of little things you can do on a blog. If you can get to a point where you start guest blogging on other people's blogs, if you can guest post and then create a backlink to your blog, that is really powerful, especially if you can get on some other mommy blogs that have more traffic. They will drive traffic to you. And what you do, you find some other bloggers and you guys start exchanging posts, and that is a way for everyone's traffic to go up. So that's a pretty powerful strategy as far as your blog. And there's plenty of others, and I've got different training on blogging and how to increase traffic, but that kind of gives you some ideas. Now, as far as the other thing about building a tribe, things like webinars, hangouts, that's kind of a way you can also build a tribe. Is just do some quick little trainings, some videos that moms can kind of get to know you a little bit. So that's usually pretty useful.
Yeah, this is the first Google. I've been on webinars, but I haven't actually just been on a Google Hangout. So this is the first time I use this.
Hey, Google, the Hangouts are pretty easy. I mean, once you get the hang of it, they're really, really simple.
Yeah.
And you can have up to 10 people. Well, you can have actually you plus 9 is the maximum you can have live. As I'm watching right now, we've got 6 people that are watching us on YouTube who are checking, you guys should have jumped on and be part of it, but I know who you are. I see on here that you guys are watching on YouTube. So we have some people watching us, they're just not participating. Silly. And I thought about not putting that link out there, and then I said, no, I'm sure there'll be someone who wants to just watch. And obviously there are a couple people who are watching. So, okay, well, anything else? So this is how a mastermind would go. Obviously, it wouldn't be just you and I. It would be like 5 or 6 people, but everyone would be chiming in to just say, here's some ideas. Have you thought about this? And when you're on the hot seat, you get questioned, right? And you get a chance to kind of defend what you're doing and give them more information. But you really listen to the questions that people ask you, because that's what your audience is going to ask you. So that's kind of how it works. And you just really, every time you go through it, you think you just get new ideas, because everyone has a little different perspective and a little different experience. And suddenly you'll go, oh, if there was someone else here and someone go, I once saw someone, when I was pregnant, this person gave me this offer, blah, 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 blah. And you may have had like 4 or 5 different offer ideas. That then you go, oh, that's a good one. Oh, that one resonates with me. Oh, that, and that's the power of the mastermind, is that there's several people all thinking about that and sharing their experiences. So that's what it's all about. Cool. Well, do you have any other questions?
No, I think this is cool. I think the one question I had is just, how would you describe, I mean, I think I experienced a little bit of the difference between a mastermind and coaching, where with coaching I feel like it's not so they're not just throwing ideas at you the whole time you're in a coaching session. It's a lot more focused.
Coaches are not going to throw ideas at you all the time. They're really not.
So I feel like that maybe that's one of the major differences between participating in a mastermind and having a coach.
Right. And the other thing is the mastermind, it really is a group think. And it's not just one person telling you or trying to get it out of you. It actually would be a whole group. And it really is group interaction is the kind of the key to the mastermind. Is that it really, and sometimes you just don't really know where the conversation is going to go. Because you could have been on the hot seat and you start talking about tribe, and someone else just go, oh, I know the tribe for you, and suddenly they're pulling out their Rolodex or their phone and they're going, here are 4 people you need to call, and blah, blah, blah. And that's what happens in the mastermind, is that people will get excited about something and they'll go, you know what, there's this conference and you need to be here, and they'll just start sharing, and then suddenly you're going, there's a whole new world just opened up that you had no idea. And they didn't know that you needed it until you were part of that group. And that's really what kind of happens with the mastermind is, versus coaching. I mean, coaching is one-on-one, and they're really trying to, get you to identify what you need, and really kind of work on you to help grow you. Whereas the mastermind really is everyone trying to not just grow you, but to solve whatever issue you've got right now and really kind of push you forward. A mastermind group really will spend the time propelling you, pushing you faster than you ever. It's going, what? Like I said, I ended up with 4 pages of ideas of programs and things I could do, and I'm going, oh my gosh, you guys, just if I never go to another mastermind, you've just given me 2 years worth of work. So that's what a mastermind does for you. It's holy moly, yes, I should do all of these things. Yeah, but for sure. Well, cool. Well, then I think we'll wrap it up.
All right.
But thank you so much for playing with me tonight. This is fun. And I put on here, and I know I posted it in the Facebook group that I am starting some new masterminds in May. I'm going to have one on Saturday mornings that's going to talk mostly sales and marketing. And then I've got one that's going to be Monday evenings, like about this time, that we're going to talk about. I'm calling it the executive decisions. And that's really to talk more about strategy, to talk more about the back-end operation stuff. We're going to talk more about reporting, talk about employee kinds of issues, talk about those kinds of issues versus just sales and marketing. But what I'm finding is that there's an awful lot of people who, in the business sense, they really want to talk sales and marketing, sales and marketing, sales and marketing. But then they kind of forget about all those other issues. And so I'm going to just divide it up, and whatever the hot topic is, they can join whichever one they want. So, but that's on the Morelli website. And I know you said that you just started some coaching, and so you're going to give that a ride for a little bit. So good luck with that.
Thank you.
Hope that turns out really well. I know, I don't know what package you bought, but I know my first coach. Oh my goodness! I was just like going, "Am I really going to be able to afford this?" But you know what? She was wonderful, and I still, when she puts products out, packages out, she does a lot of, she now has kind of morphed into doing a lot of like teleseminars, and kind of, she'll have 5 people on the panel, and so yeah, I'm on every one of hers, and this has been like 5 or 6 years now, so yeah,
cool.
So good luck, and I'll be looking for you on Facebook, so if you ever need anything, seriously, reach out, and I'll help you if I can.
All right. Well, thanks so much. This was so much fun.
All right. Thanks. Have a great evening.
Thank you. You too.
Okay. Bye-bye.